Imagine waking up before history had a name. No calendar, no money, no country, no police, no hospital, no one coming to save you. Just cold air on your skin, smoke from last night's fire, and the sound of something moving beyond the trees. For most of human existence, this was normal. So what did our ancestors actually do all day? The answer is not what most people think. When people imagine prehistoric life, they usually picture a half-naked caveman running with a spear, screaming at a mammoth. But that image is almost useless. Our ancestors were not stupid. They were not failed versions of modern humans. They were intelligent, emotional, social, observant, violent, creative, afraid, loving, jealous, loyal, curious. In other words, they were us. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans survived without cities, written language, supermarkets, clocks, or governments. And yet, they crossed continents, mastered fire, built tools, buried their dead, painted caves, raised children, formed alliances, and told stories long before anyone invented civilization. So the real question is not just, what did they do all day? The better question is, what did a human life look like before the world became modern? A prehistoric morning did not begin with an alarm. It began with the body. The cold told you when to wake. The smoke told you if the fire survived the night. The silence told you if something was wrong. Before sunrise, the group was already listening, not to words, to the land. A broken branch could mean an animal passed nearby. Birds suddenly going quiet could mean a predator was close. A change in wind could carry the smell of rain, rot, smoke, or danger. This was not a world of background noise. Everything meant something. A child learned this early: where to step, what not to touch, which insects were harmless, which plants could feed you, which ones could make your stomach twist in pain until sunrise. To live in that world, you had to read it. The ground was a book, the sky was a warning, the forest was never empty, and every morning asked the same question: where is the next meal? Here is the strange part. Our ancestors may not have spent the entire day working, not in the way we understand work. There was no boss, no paycheck, no 10-hour shift under fluorescent lights. There were tasks, urgent ones: find water, gather roots, track animals, repair tools, watch children, carry firewood, move camp, prepare skins, share information. But the rhythm was different. Some days were brutal. A failed hunt could mean hunger. A dry season could turn familiar land into a trap. A storm could erase tracks, destroy shelter, and make movement dangerous. But other days were slower. People rested because wasting energy was foolish. They sat in shade when the sun became too heavy. They watched clouds. They sharpened stone. They cleaned hides. They talked. They teased. They flirted. They argued. They remembered. Life was not divided into work and free time. Everything blended together: family, labor, danger, gossip, learning, food, sex, status, fear. All of it happened in the same small human circle. And that circle was everything. Movies loved the hunt. A group of men chasing a giant animal across the plain, spears raised, muscles burning, death waiting at the end. And yes, hunting mattered, but it was not the whole day. It was not even the whole diet. Much of daily survival came from knowledge that looked less dramatic, but was just as powerful. Seeds, nuts, shellfish, honey, eggs, tubers, fruit, small animals, plants hidden under rough soil. A skilled gatherer could feed people without ever throwing a spear. An elder might know where water stayed after the river shrank. A mother might recognize a plant her child should never touch. A teenager might learn which bird calls meant eggs nearby. This kind of knowledge did not look heroic, but it kept people alive. And in a small group, knowing things gave you value, not because you had followers, not because you had money, but because your memory could become someone else's dinner. But this is where the story changes, because prehistoric life was not a paradise. It was not some peaceful escape from modern stress. Yes, there may have been more rest than we expect. Yes, the day may have moved with the sun instead of a clock, but freedom came with a price. There was no backup plan. One infected cut could kill you. One broken ankle could ruin your family. One bad decision at dusk could make you disappear before morning. At night, the world changed. The same forest that gave berries, wood, shade, and animals became something else. A wall of darkness. Human eyes are not built for the night. Many predators see better than we do. They smell better. They hear more. They move without asking permission from the world. That is why fire was more than warmth. It was a border. Inside the light, there were faces, hands, voices, children sleeping close, old scars glowing orange. Outside the light, there were teeth. Fire turned a group of vulnerable primates into something harder to approach. It cooked food. It scared animals. It extended the evening. It created a place where memory could survive. Around that flame, people repaired tools, shared meat, settled tension, watched rivals, comforted children, and listened to stories that may have been older than anyone alive. Before temples, before books, before kings, there was the fire, and around it, humans began turning fear into meaning. A prehistoric group was not just a survival team, it was politics. Small politics, but intense. Who was brave? Who was lazy? Who shared meat? Who lied? Who attracted mates? Who protected children? Who caused trouble? In a world without written law, reputation was law. If people trusted you, you had protection. If they admired you, you gained influence. If they feared you, they watched you. If they rejected you, the wilderness became much colder. Love existed there. So did jealousy, loyalty, betrayal, desire, grief. A person could lose a child. A hunter could fail and feel shame. An elder could become respected because they remembered seasons no one else had seen. A young man could risk his life not only for food, but to be seen. That part has not changed much. The weapons changed. The houses changed. The clothes changed. But the hunger for status? That is ancient. And then there is the part that makes our ancestors impossible to dismiss as primitive. They made art. Deep inside caves, far from daylight, humans painted animals with astonishing skill. Horses, bison, lions, hands, symbols we still do not fully understand. Think about that. Someone walked into darkness with fire in their hand, not to find food, not to escape rain, but to create an image. That means the mind had already gone beyond survival. It was remembering, dreaming, teaching, worshiping, warning. Maybe those paintings were rituals. Maybe they were stories. Maybe they were messages to spirits, ancestors, hunters, children, or the dead. We do not know, and that mystery is the point. Because long before civilization gave humans monuments, humans were already building invisible worlds inside their minds. So what did early humans actually do all day? They woke with the cold. They followed signs in the land. They searched for food. They watched each other. They carried knowledge in memory instead of books. They repaired tools, raised children, shared stories, feared the dark, desired respect, buried their dead, painted animals in hidden places, and slowly, without knowing it, they became the bridge between animal instinct and human civilization. Their lives were dangerous, but not empty. Simple, but not stupid. Hard, but not meaningless. And maybe that is why we still feel something when we imagine them near the fire. Because somewhere deep inside us, beneath the screens, the concrete, the bills, and the noise, part of us remembers that circle of light, the night outside, the people beside us, and the ancient question every human still carries: will I survive tomorrow? If this kind of dark history is your world, subscribe to Anime History. And tell me in the comments, would you survive 1 week as an early human, Or would the ancient world break you before the first night?